think a lot of happy faces, smiling faces in the Bay Area before his career is over.
Second and goal from the 7. Garrett throws. Intercepted at the goal line. Charles Woodson. Woodson breaks away from one tackler out over the 20, and the Raiders stave off a Dallas touchdown.
Here's Plummer. Into the flat, picked off, and here we go the other direction. This will be the Heisman Trophy winner, Charles Woodson. His second interception in as many weeks, his first touchdown in the National Football League. Could be the last play of the game. Warren Moon airs it out. Intercepted by Charles Woodson. Oakland wins it.
Wheelahan steps up, unloads, and it's a ball game.
Springtime. Throws it deep and right to the hands of Woodson. Intercepted by Charles Woodson, and that'll do it. The Raiders have beaten the Kansas City Chiefs 4 consecutive times and 3 in a row in Arrowhead Stadium.
Since they started keeping track of sacks in 1982. Cordell unloads, that's going to be intercepted.
Just throw it up to grabs. Intercepted, and that will do it.
However, Woodson's final 2 seasons in Oakland were marred by injury. In 2013, Woodson returned to where it all began.
But what I see, I think we can be the best damn secondary in the league. That's what I believe. And I wouldn't tell you if I didn't believe it. But we got to go out there and do this on the field.
Flips it to Cobb, who's flipped in the air. Back in. Looking for more. Le'Veon Bell tripped up after the catch by the future Hall of Famer Charles Woodson.
Osweiler, 3rd and 2. Woodson comes through with the sack. Vincent Brown leading receiver with 59 yards. Looks for ball. Woodhead close it up. Scooped up. Charles Woodson will take it the distance. Touchdown, Oakland Raiders on the fumble recovery.
Griffin going to get sacked in midfield by Charles Woodson.
Too high. Intercepted by Charles Woodson. He may go back the other way. 30, 25, 20. Raiders blitz Charles Woodson, and Alex Smith goes down. Charles Woodson comes in untouched and throws Alex down.
They're tossing it over to Charles, and he's met by Charles Woodson. 6 for 115. Rivers looking for it all. Intercepted. Charles Woodson. It's over in Oakland.
Back at the 24. Where Smith throws in and he's intercepted. That's Woodson jumping the route and making the pick.
It's intercepted. Charles Woodson.
Morton on 3rd down, throws middle, it is intercepted. Career 60th interception.
The first time Stevie Johnson's been able to get loose.
Rivers taking a shot down the sideline, incomplete. Big hit by Charles Woodson.
Looks left, throws end zone, intercepted by Charles Woodson. At last he got Peyton Manning. Alden Smith pressures, Manning throws a lob for Demaryius Thomas. Intercepted by a flying Charles Woodson. Again, he is Superman. Count, throws right. Benjamin intercepted by Charles Woodson. He's got it in the field of play. The Raiders take over. Charles Woodson with the interception.
Somebody told me today, man, this is my 250th game.
Smith, that's Kelsey. And Kelsey inside the 30. Inside the 25-yard line, lost the football. This is Woodson. Woodson back down the sideline to about the 35.
You're all going to go to Canton.
Yeah.
Charles Woodson will be enshrined, Cantonized as a Pro Football Hall of Famer. The great Rodney Harrison have said he's the greatest defensive back to ever play the game.
Raiders back. Everybody better be ready for it.
Fresh off his Heisman Trophy winning college career, Tim Brown was drafted by the Los Angeles Raiders with the 6th overall pick in the 1988 draft. Taking the field at the LA Coliseum for the very first play of his NFL career, he faced the weight of expectations and one overriding sensation.
I was scared out of my mind, I have to tell you that. And only thing I kept telling myself is, look, you know, once you get the ball in your hands, things happen naturally. But you got to get the ball in your hands. So make sure you catch the ball.
Here's the kickoff now that is received by Tim Brown on the 3, out to the 10, the 15, accelerate 20.
I remember that play like it was yesterday, man. I made one cut, and then I was up the sideline.
He's past the kicker at the 50. He's on the way.
I'm looking around because I was like, I heard these guys were fast, so I know somebody's coming to get me. So I'm looking around trying to figure out who's coming to get me. And by the time I get to the 10, I realize nobody's there, and I'm starting to celebrate already.
Tim Brown, touchdown Raiders, 90 yards. Holy Toledo.
He can't be a motherfucking thing, bro.
Bo Jackson was a mythical figure to probably a lot of people my age. Probably the coolest player to watch.
Bo, I mean, larger than life again. And then you had this big brute, Bosworth. Sort of got exposed by our Bo Jackson.
From the 2, here's Bo. And here goes Bo for the touchdown. He and Bosworth one-on-one, and Jackson just jumps him into the end zone.
I think it was just for, who's the biggest, the baddest, and the toughest. Bo was.
Not just the Nike campaign with Bo Knows, but it was the baseball with the KC Royals, and he lived up to the hype.
Bo trying to get around the left side. There's too much humanity there. He reverses, coming back to the right.
What made Bo a great athlete?
Starts at the field of the 15 to the 20, 25. He's at the 30.
Wow, to watch Bo play.
It's a foot race. Will anybody catch him?
Where do you start?
Extraordinary two-sport star Bo Jackson, number 34, just 3 weeks after baseball, ripped off 45 yards.
Bo was just like, I want to do this. I'm going to do it. I want to do that. I'm going to do that. He was a freak.
Holy Toledo!
He's probably the greatest athlete in the history of this country. He might be the greatest athlete in the history of the world.
You can't tell the story of professional football without having Bo Jackson in that list.
As the 1985 Heisman Trophy winner, Bo Jackson was destined for the NFL.
Came in and made an immediate splash when he came to the Raiders. His coming out party was against Seattle.
The touchdown where he runs forever and then runs like right into the line.
Turns it up to the 10, 15, up the left side to 20. He's at the 30. Maybe nobody will get him.
He was actually gaining speed after 100 yards. You can't tell me that Bo Jackson didn't arrive on Earth naked in a blue ball of lightning. The man was a Terminator. Bo had hard speed. You felt that he was punishing the ground as he ran.
Bo Jackson wasn't just fast, he was like superhuman strong. It was like he was running a carpool for defenders. Like, hey, Bo, you go into the end zone? Yeah. Okay, we're going to hop on your back and you can just carry us in there.
Bo Jackson was too big to be that fast. But if he ever got in the open field, what I always was amazed by were the helpless defensive backs.
What a dynamic, explosive drive by Bo Jackson.
Like the Mike Harden play, he would run right through Mike Harden. And like he never lost a step, and then he would get back to full speed right away.
Growing up in Missouri, I saw Bo Jackson destroy the Chiefs on like a yearly basis.
Bo Jackson laying waste to the Kansas City defense.
You're saying, hey, I need a Superman. Call Central Casting. Bo Jackson walks in.
In the late 1980s, Jackson was an NFL cultural icon.
His legend has almost become mythical. You can tell me he's the first X-Men character. I'd be like, yeah, he's pretty fast. He's the one that's speedy and can't see him when he moves.
And in the emerging video game world, he was simply
unstoppable.
Unstoppable. You cannot stop Bo Jackson. Tecmo Bowl. You got a Madden and all of that now, but that's the original. That's the Godfather. You can pitch it to Bo Jackson and you sweep left and you spin him around and run it right up the middle like Marcus Allen did. Today, you can't stop that play. It's unstoppable.
It was like a flash of light. It was on and it was off.
Ultimately, Jackson only ranked number 5 on our list because his career was cut short by injury after only 4 seasons.
It's sad because what might have been is one of the great runners of all time.
As much as he gave during that short era, you could only imagine what he would have gave to help him.
Bo Jackson might have been a shooting star. What's faster than a shooting star? Not much.
One of the 14 AFC teams starting today tied for first place. Well, Cincinnati's moved ahead of Pittsburgh, Navy, Houston in the Central, Buffalo ahead of Miami in the East. And now the Raiders, can they stay with Kansas City, and can Denver stay with Bo Jackson? The answer is no. Bo has another.
You know, that's like Muhammad Ali or something. So fast and so sharp and hit so quick that you stun the guys trying to tackle you. You see him starting right. He looks like he's in trouble, but look how hard he hits people. He's just so quick. Look at that burst, banging into people. This explosion. He's really beating the defenders to the punch. That's the greatness that this guy has as an athlete.
Play you talked about, 92 yards last year. Actually, about 13 months ago, November of 1989, same field, same two teams, only this time he never changed direction. He just turned the corner and blazed down the sidelines, 92 yards for a touchdown. Today, 88 yards, actually in many ways a better run.
Struggle when he got here, but now he has actually turned into a go-to receiver for the Raiders.
And here is Bo Jackson. He reverses, comes back, gets a block. Schrader lays a block, misses his man. Bo Jackson breaks clean at the 30. He's to the 50. He's to the 30. He's to the 20. And he slides. No, they're going to mark it down. Just shy. Just shy. And he was caught. And I think even Bo is surprised. Rod Jones caught him. 88 yards.
He is going to be the infamous Rod Jones. He will be the one that's able to tell his kids and his grandkids, I caught Bo Jackson from behind. What a run. Take a look at Jay Schrader right here actually helping out. Jay Schrader throws a little bit of a block right there on Jones. Now watch, Jones is in the trail position the entire way. He's stumbling right there, but now Bo has it. He's at full speed. He comes back to the inside. He's starting to fade now. You can see the big bear is getting on his back. He's getting tired. Right there, Jones gets it just before he gets into the end zone.
And the team just continued to function. And fortunately, in a sense, they didn't have to have him playing great football because a lot of other people were.
Bo Jackson has some room. One man to beat, and from behind, Kevin Walker saves another touchdown.
This is just what the Bengals wanted to avoid and just what the Raiders were expecting sooner or later to happen. Some beautiful blocking at the line of scrimmage, and Bo is so strong physically. Those legs are so strong. Talking to Fulcher before the game, he said, you can't tackle him in his legs. Look at Steve Smith kick his man out. A great job by Montoya. A beautiful job of pulling and blocking, and watch these broken tackles. So his legs and, of course, the
Jackson shaken up a bit, has not gotten to his feet as yet. That was a 34-yard run by Jackson, who does not appear to be seriously injured and gets a big hand from this crowd. What a player.
Just think how cool it must be to have Howie Long for a father. He's a football legend and a movie star. And he's a great example of how hard work can pay off. He grew up a poor, tough kid in Boston. He struggled in school and had to work his way through college.
Now, when you went to Villanova, was that the first time that you ever thought that you might have the ability to make a career out of playing pro football?
I never gave pro football a second thought. Never imagined that I would be good enough to play in pro ball.
Long didn't even play in his final 3 games at Villanova because he was expelled from school.
I was in an off-campus altercation in Philadelphia.
Now, what's an altercation?
It's a fight. It's a better way of saying a fight.
But he made a name for himself by showcasing his talents to anyone who would watch.
I worked out for every scout there was. I worked out 65 times.
What was the most unusual workout that you had?
Probably when the guy from the Colts came by and ran me on the front lawn of my dorm on a Sunday morning at like 9 a.m., knocked on my door, woke me up. I didn't have any cleats. He didn't care. He had a girl in the car. I remember the one guy, you always had to find a way as a scout to cover your rear end. Runs great vertical jump, doesn't use his hands well, lacks toughness. This was the one guy. And I said, geez, you know, if he could have said
That's what they said about you?
If he could have said anything, you know, I never lacked toughness.
Howie Long was tough. I mean, Howie Long came from some place where they made tough guys because he was a tough guy right off the bat, right out of the chute.
And right out of the chute, he had to prove his toughness.
Do you remember your first pit drill with the Raiders?
Art Shell. I remember Art Shell stepped up there. Now here's Art Shell. I mean, I'm 20 years old, and I'm not shaving, and you know, Art Shell's 36, 37 years old. He's got a beard. He's 330 pounds, and he's all man. Dave Browning steps up to go against Art Shell, and Earl Leggett walks in and grabs Dave Browning. Well, apparently Earl Leggett and Art Shell have worked this out.
We always have what we call Oklahoma drill, and it's a one-on-one blocking. So you want to try your rookies out.
The first time he came off the ball, he hit me here and cracked a little crack of my cheekbone here and slit me here with his helmet. And when Art came off the ball, he would also throw a double fist to your abdomen. So not only was I knocked out, I couldn't breathe.
And I thought Art Shell had almost killed him. Scared me there for a while.
Did you ever doubt that yourself that you were in the wrong?
I called home to my grandmother and I said, "Tell Uncle Mikey I might need a job."
His greatest asset was his insecurity. Howie Long never thought he was that good. He always was trying to prove that he was.
Every year, it's one of the things he would do. He would always ask me, am I going to get cut?
You know, you think about it like this. I played 13 years in the NFL. I went to 8 Pro Bowls. I was on one of the 2 defensive ends on the all-decade team. And I never enjoyed my career. I had 5 sacks versus the Redskins in their heyday in one game. And on the ride back to California on the plane, all I could think about was the 4 run plays that I blew. It was not until I retired when I sat down and said, "You were pretty good."
Ironically, the coach who tested Howie's toughness with the pit drill was the same man who shaped his career.
Earl Leggett took me to another level of physical commitment that I had never been to. He challenged me physically, mentally. He made me a football player.
And he made him perhaps the most versatile defensive lineman ever.
He could play all over it. Some guys get so special, I have to be on this side and I have to be open side. Howie used to go and play like a piano. He'd play up and down the line of scrimmage. Let me have this guy. He'd play over the tackle, over the guard, over the center, over the other guard, over the other tackle. They'd put him any place when he'd whip a guy.
Howie did it so effortlessly, and it happened so quick. It was like a boxer. It was a combination. It was jab, boom, bang. Plus, maybe one of the smartest guys I've ever been around on the field. I've been blessed to play with really smart players. Ronnie Lott, he got it. Charles Haley, as good as there was. Joe Montana. What can I say? Howie Long is right there.
And he was the best, built big guy that I've ever seen. I mean, usually when a guy gets, he weighs 280 pounds or something like that, he looks like a guy that weighs 280 pounds. You know what I mean? But he looked like a guy that weighed 185 pounds.
So he was tough, smart, and good-looking. It was only natural that he thought about a second career.
Impressive start here by the Raider front four early.
Moreno had been sacked only 6 times all season coming into the game. 3rd and 15 from the 33. Raiders rush 4, and Moreno just throws it up for grabs, and Stratford makes the catch and wishes he had Eddie Anderson, the hitman.
Wow, you're supposed to let him in a little bit on the screen. That time they just flowed in on Moreno. He lobbed it up in the air, and it gave Anderson time to cover the ground to get almost into the screen himself. He
back-to-back. Marcus Allen, Steve Smith start in the backfield. We'll see a lot of Bo Jackson, of course. Dalton Fernandez, the wideout. Ethan Horton, the converted running back, is the tight end. And the guys up front, Mosbar having a fine year as usual. Montoya, the longtime Bengal, came over to the Raiders in the offseason, doing well at right guard. Marcus Allen into Miami territory, inside the 40, and Marcus Allen to the 33-yard line. And the Raiders begin with a 19-yard gain on the ground against the league's #1 defense. Green and Oliver make the tackle.
Exactly what Art Shell told us we were going to see. Straight ahead blocking and attack this Miami defense, which has wonderful team speed and excellent pursuit. Fine blocking to the right side behind Wright and Montoya. And what's new about watching Marcus Allen loose in a secondary?
He's been doing it since 1982. Allen started as if he was going into motion, then stops and takes the handoff and picks up about 7 to the 26. Now the Dolphin defense, they've gone from 24th in the league to 1st in the National Football League. 3-man front. Turner, Lee, and Cross has been great at right end. Briggs, Offerdorf, Odom was the plan B guy from Indianapolis, and the veteran Hugh Green. McKyer, of course, came from the 49ers. J.B. Brown at the other corner. And the 2 former Florida Gators, Jarvis Williams and Lewis Oliver, a good pair of safeties. 2nd and 3, and they give it to Allen again over the right side, and Allen, seeking the first down, is very close as he takes it to the 23-yard line. In on the tackle is number 92, David Briggs, the linebacker.
Archell last night made no bones about it. He was going to get the running game going no matter how long he had to stay with it. He said, this is what we've got to do. And perhaps putting the defense of the Miami Dolphins in perspective, if we could. They have 6 wins, but 2 of those wins were against New England, 2 were against the Jets, 1 was against Phoenix, and 1 was against Indianapolis. 6 of their 8 against teams that aren't considered major powerhouses offensively.
Meanwhile, the Raiders, as you saw, have been stymied on the ground for the last 2 games, but begin promisingly tonight. Allen, the 4th straight time, picks up the first down, takes it to the 19-yard line, and one of the reasons Steve Smith sees a lot of action at fullback was evident right there. A good block to pave the way.
Good block to lead Allen, but also a very smart move on the part of Allen. Good heads-up running. He could have sprung that to the sideline, maybe gone for big distance, but he knew he was going to get the first down. 35 is Steve Smith. Berry's the linebacker trying to close. Now watch Allen. He didn't go to the outside. He knew where the first down was. He cut it back against the grain and got it.
1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. Allen, a 5th straight time, takes it to the 14. And you don't have to worry about using him up, because if he needs a blow, you just go to the bench for number 34, Bo Jackson.
You know, I kidded him about that last night, Alan. I said, you know, you're 30 years old, you're a running back, you shouldn't be carrying that thing 20, 25 times a game. He said, look, I'm 30 years old, but I can carry it that many times a game. He's not terribly happy about it. And I believe him. He's in great shape, not beat up too much over his career. And he would like to get it that many times.
He's already carried as many times tonight as he did all of last week, and here he is again. So a portent of things to come for the Raiders as Allen is on the ground, taking it down to the 10-yard line. 6 carries in a row. It'll be 3rd down and 1 at the 10.
And this is about the time where the Miami defense starts talking to one another in the huddle, saying, what is happening here, guys? This can't be happening to us. A lot of raised eyebrows and looking around. There's Tom Olivedati, their defensive coordinator, and this is a defense that hasn't spent much time this season back on their heels. This is where they find themselves right now.
3rd and 1. Smith the fullback, Allen the tailback. That's Mueller in motion. And who else? Marcus puts his head down and is stop at about the 9 by Jeff Cross. And it's going to be, I think, a little short of the first down.
A little short, and big decision time for Art Shell on the sidelines. You've been able to move the ball on the ground. Shall we go on 4th down, or do we put it through the uprights?
He really looks concerned, doesn't he? Come on, Art. Supposed to look a little more tense than that. It is 4th down.
So 7 consecutive rushes for Marcus Allen. Schrader looks over toward the bench. Allen's been the whole drive. It started at the Raider 48. It is now down to the 9. The play clock as the Raiders huddle is down to 10.
Allen is pointing to the clock ticking away the seconds.
On 4th and inches, it's Allen, and he doesn't get it.
There's the pound machine. Boy, that'll give him a big lift.
A mistake there by the Los Angeles Raiders, which is why he came up 6 inches short on a first down pass pattern. I wouldn't want to explain it to that guy.
1st and 10. Napoleon McCallum is in the game for the first time, and it's McCallum laying down the block for Bo Jackson, who bursts through the middle, takes it to the 37. Jackson, coming into this game, does not have a run this year longer than 11 yards.
Carried it about 35 times as Allen gained about 118 yards coming into it. And he just has not been able to break one off, but you can see here the acceleration. Many people would tell you that he runs a little better to his left, and he does it.
On 2nd and 8, Jackson swings to the outside, and he stopped at the 12-yard line. Jarvis Williams coming up to break the play up.
And one of the great parts of this defense, we talk about the run defense, but a lot of it is support from that secondary. You saw Jarvis Williams there a moment ago. This secondary is vastly improved. The corners, McKyer and Brown, have really made a difference in the secondary, and you saw Williams coming up and make the stop and holding Bo Jackson to about 1.5 yards.
Big 3rd down play comes up for the Raiders when the 2nd quarter starts. And back we come after this commercial message and a word from our ABC station. And you go back to 1955 when the Redskins improved by about 1/3. And you can see the type of defense that Miami has exhibited under Tom Olivadotti this season. Bo Jackson drags Jarvis Williams for 4 out to the 25.
Well, it's kind of a tough start for Bo Jackson, though, when he's meeting a member of the secondary in the backfield. Jarvis Williams comes on the blitz off the corner, and Bo Jackson really has no chance at all. That's quite an effort by Mr. Vincent Jackson there to even get any positive yardage at all. I mean, look, Williams meets him well into the backfield. The awesome leg strength of Bo Jackson just drags Williams for a good 6 yards.
Bo back on the sidelines. Marcus Allen in the backfield. 3rd and 6, LA from the 25. Allen needs 6. Gets 8. First down up at the 33-yard line. Tackle made by Lippert Hobley. Bo back in.
Straight ahead blocking on the right side, and again the presence of Marcus Allen bringing it back to the inside, knowing what he needs for that first down.
Must be frustrating, though, for a guy like Marcus to make a run like that, something that he does with such regularity, and then trot over to the sidelines. I mean, this is a guy that has filled the play. That would have been an incomplete pass, even if he'd have caught it.
Total yardage 134-3, but it's only 3-0 on the scoreboard. 2nd and 10. Schrader to a wide open Tim Brown, and Brown seeking the first down and has it as he stretches to the 28-yard line. He's tackled by Offerdahl. 7:45 left in the half. Raiders on top 3-0 and dominating.
Another team had 3 Heisman Award winners. Here's Offerdahl. He is really much better against the run. They don't like to get him into deep coverage. You can see by looking. He kind of lumbers. He doesn't run back there. A couple of knee braces and a whole lot of shoulder pads, but he gets back into it. But Raiders with their 3 Heisman Award winners. Tim Brown, you saw, Marcus Allen, and, of course, Bo Jackson.
From the 28, Jackson behind Smith. And Bo takes it to the 20-yard line for a gain of 8. Offerdahl makes the stop. The thoughts of Art Shell on Bo Jackson.
Right now, Bo's in pretty good shape. He keeps himself in pretty good condition. Right now, he's going to training camp, I guess you could say. But there doesn't seem to be any problem as far as health is concerned, as far as his conditioning is concerned. And we expect good things out of him the rest of the year.
And getting good things thus far tonight out of Jackson and Allen. 2nd and 2 from the 20. Bo again. Has the first down. He got to the 18-yard line, hit hard by Cliff Odom. But his forward progress, I believe, has netted him the first.
I think back again to last night in our talk with Art Shell when he said, nothing complicated tomorrow night. I told my guys we're just going to run 5 or 6 running plays. We're going to keep it between the tackles. We're not going to use any complicated blocking schemes. We are going to take it straight at the Miami Dolphins. And, gentlemen, they've been doing so thus far tonight with a lot of success.
He wasn't lying. This is the 12th play of the drive that started at the Raider 21. 3-0 LA, 5:40 to go in the half. On a reverse, here's Jackson to the 10-yard line. His speed got him to the outside, and he picks up 8.
I think I should win the timing award at the very least. I mean, that was a between the tackles reverse.
Yeah, but you know what you can do is when you're able to control the ball like they have on the ground, like you say, Dan, going straight at them, you begin to get that defense in tighter and tighter, and then you fake straight up the middle, and you give it the reverse, and you get this kind of action. Hey, when you can run the football, you can do all.
Already rushed for 100 yards tonight. Allen picks up 2. That's 102 yards for the Raiders tonight. And this season, all season long, the Raiders, or the Dolphins defense, has allowed 100 yards on the ground only twice, to the Giants and to the Jets.
Yeah, an average of only 73 yards a game, Al. I mean, that's extraordinary, too. And tonight, already at this point, they've given up over the century mark. And Tom Olivedade and Don Shula conferring. Don Shula, of course, at this point in time, blames it all on the defensive coordinator.
That's where it really all counts. They've only given up an average of 10.7 points per game.
This will either be a 3rd and inches or a first down. It is the latter. 5 minutes to go in the half. 1st and goal. Reminder, college football coming your way this Saturday here on ABC. From the 8, Allen tries to get to the outside, and Hugh Green says, not this time, pal. Crowd chanting, huge, huge, huge.
Boy, there's a situation where both of the Miami linebackers walked right up in what they call a snug position, right on the line of scrimmage. And there is just a solid wall of backed-up offensive linemen right there.
Ordinarily, you don't do that, but I recall a Super Bowl a few years ago where Allen popped in there, backed off, and took it, some 70 yards for a touchdown?
Against Washington following the 83 season. Last time the Raiders won a playoff game. 2nd and goal on a delay. Here's Allen, and he can't swing to the outside. He is tripped up by Offerdahl, and it will be 3rd and goal.
I think that's where Offerdahl works the best. Between the tackles, he is, of course, a multiple Pro Bowl player there. Surprising when he came up as a 2nd-round draft pick in '86 and Pro Bowl his first year. Just reached out a big ham-like arm and tripped up Allen.
3rd and goal, 3:25 remaining in the half. 3-0 Raiders in a game totally dominated by the Raiders in every phase but on the scoreboard. The Raiders at the 10 on 3rd and goal is Schrader. Leaves Allen in the block and fires incomplete, but there's a flag. Intended for Fernandez. Did McIntyre hold him?
He locked up with him pretty good.
Well, they had a little switch pattern over in the right, a little bit of a pick, if you want to call it that. I don't know whether they're going to call pass interference or they're going to call the pick.
But actually, It looked like the two Dolphins ran into one another.
Holding, number 22 defense, 5 yards, automatic first down, first and goal.
Watch this. Watch the break to the inside. This is Makire that gets called from the hold, and then the pattern to the outside. But watch the two Dolphin defenders are actually the two guys that run in. There's Timmy Brown breaking to the outside.
The play is designed to have them run into each other, and that is absolutely perfect.
And Fernandez, you're right. I didn't touch anybody. You can't call a pick on me.
That's the 7th first down on this drive for the Raiders, who get a big break. First and goal from the 5, and Bo Jackson gets taken down after he reaches the 1. Cliff Odom, first to hit him. Second and goal. We have 2:53 remaining in the half. Fast half. Remember, the Dolphins have not given up, their defense hasn't given up a touchdown in almost 3.5 games. And again, they've not given up a rushing touchdown since week 3, Otis Anderson.
Only team they lost to, 20-3 at the Giants Stadium.
The Raiders in the huddle here for a long time.
Play clock is down to 6. Second and goal just inside the 2.
They're not going to get it off, Al.
And Schrader has to take another timeout, so they burn their second. They have 1 remaining. We have 2:19 on the clock. First half, still 3-0. It is second and goal with Steve Smith and Bo Jackson in the backfield, and Vance Mueller set on a wing to the right. Mueller in motion. Fake to Jackson. Schrader throws. It's tipped and incomplete. Intended for Ethan Horton, the tight end. Good coverage, though.
That's just good smart play on Schrader. He just threw that one away. I mean, good coverage. Miami having to play for the run, still able to drop into good pass coverage.
All right, well, let me be devil's advocate here. You're jamming the ball down their throat all game so far. You get down to the 2-yard line, second and goal at the 2, and you throw a play-action pass like that? I mean, you've got to be kidding me.
Has to be something that they have read in their looking at previous games of the Dolphins. They've been running it so well.
Looking for the ultimate element of surprise, I suppose. Third and goal, back to the basics, and Marcus Allen for the touchdown. On a delayed call, he's in there.
I mean, you are controlling the line of scrimmage. You've got a chance to really drive a nail into the Dolphins here. Why ease up? Why take the pressure off by going to something cute? You hurt them when you run it in like that, and you can see the look on Olivadade's and Shula's face. That hurt.
It's been 2 months since the Dolphins have given up a touchdown on the ground, and Marcus Allen, touchdown number 87, and he moves past Eric Dickerson. That's the most for anybody currently active in the NFL.
Just win. Play hard. Try not to make mistakes, but don't worry about mistakes because there's only one thing that counts. Just win.